Next question goes to Councilor Balzotti. We'll move to one power plant question. That's it. Please. Both of you have stated repeatedly your opposition to the power plant. First off, why are you against it? And what makes you the person who can block it as opposed to your opponent, and Councilor Balzotti?
I am opposed to the landfill for a number of reasons, but basically because I believe that it is not in the best health interests of the residents of the entire city. It's not just a segment of the city. The emissions from that plant will not just impact one section of the city, they will impact the whole city. We have the highest asthma rate, one of the highest asthma rates in the state, and those components are not going to help anybody's health, and it's just not in the best interest. And I believe that I will be the best one to stop it because I've had experience with the DEP back when we were doing the Thatcher Street landfill, trying to keep the East Bridgewater landfill closed. So I know how the DEP works. I know what their issues are, and I believe that I would be the best person to keep it closed, or keep it out.
Mayor Harrington.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't be too proud to tell people I was involved in the closing of the Thatcher Street landfill. It was a disaster. But I put together a plan to stop the power plant. And what I did was, I did the analysis, I got the professional people to look at it, because these companies that come in, they have professionals that you're dealing with. We hired the right lawyers. We were able to get the siting board to give us local control over the issues of zoning and planning, and we're going through that process now. We appealed the decision. I appealed the decision. I ordered the law department to appeal the decision to the state Supreme Judicial Court on the basis of the environmental justice issue. We've had a plan from the very beginning how to do this. What I didn't do was jump out front like everybody else and say, you know, I'm against it, I'm against it, I'm against it. I waited till we had the facts. Now, my opponent said in an earlier forum that I waited till the last minute for before the election before I made my decision so I get reelected. But she said nothing about all of the things that I've done over the last 2 years to make sure that it doesn't go forward. And the question is, what have you done over the last 2 years to stop the plan from going forward?
Mr. Mayor, first let me say that I advocated for the residents of Ward 4 all through the process of the capping and closing at Thatcher Street landfill, and it certainly was not my idea to do that project in that way. In terms of what I've done, I've worked with Councilor Brophy to file ordinances that would prevent the sale of the wastewater, which, as a matter of fact, will probably be one of the things that helps us the most. The siting board allowed us to retain local control. I also, Mr. Mayor, sent letters in response to all of the environmental impact reports that came out from the very beginning. And I expressed my concerns, and I went through the process, just as everybody else did. But those ordinances that we passed, both on wastewater and on selling of potable water, may be the local options that will keep this plant out of the city. So I, in fact, have done quite a few things to help keep this plant out.
But, Councilor, it goes back to what I'm trying to say, that those were not your initiatives. You signed on to them after somebody else already did it. Those weren't your ideas to do that. You hopped on somebody else's idea. That's the point I'm trying to make. I did the analysis. I put together a plan to fight this. All you want to stand on the sideline, let somebody else do the work, and then jump on the bandwagon.
Mr. Mayor, that's simply not true. Jim, that's not true. And you know it's not. It's a collective effort. We all work together on the council. We're all at the meetings. We formulate the language. We all sign various orders, but we all work and advocate for their passage. And that's just not true to say that one individual does everything when an order of that magnitude is filed. It's just not true.
It is true.
It is not
Councilor
true.
Brophy put the order together. Councilor Brophy filed the order, and you signed on to it.
Next question. Thank you. Next question goes to Mayor Harrington. In June, Mr. Mayor, the school committee voted 4-3 to hire a new superintendent. The vote came after a volatile and controversial search process. That night, the committee deadlocked 3-3 before you, as chairman of the committee, called for a second vote. You didn't have to. You could have broken the tie yourself. Why on that night did you allow an outgoing school committee member who had been at the center of this controversy to make this pivotal decision?
Well, because he's the elected member of the school committee. I'm not. I'm a ex officio member of the school board. I've never voted in my 4 years on the school committee. I don't believe that's the role of the mayor. The role of the mayor is to support the school committee and to give them direction and run the meetings and work with the superintendent. And what I wanted to do was give the board an opportunity, and I stated before that vote that if they didn't make a decision on the next ballot, then I would. Then I would exercise my vote. Quite frankly, for all the controversy and all of the other things that go along with this, I think we have the best superintendent of schools in the state. And it was a phenomenal hire by the school committee, and they should be applauded for hiring him. This guy's going to be a superstar. He's unbelievable, the things he's done already. And he has a plan.
Well, I'm glad he has a plan, and I hope it's not sitting anywhere collecting dust.
If you go to the schools once in a while, you see it being implemented.
I go to the schools all the time, Mr.
I
Mayor.
don't see you there.
As mayor and chair of the school committee, I'll not only take a seat on the school committee, but I'll take an active part in votes, including choosing the superintendent. Because understanding that running the business of the city is running the schools, and that the largest department with the largest city budget, you should be selecting the CEO, and you should make a choice, and that's what I would do.
Well, the answer to that is the proof is in the results. And the school department the schools are doing better under my last 4 years as the chairman of that school committee than they've ever done. So I think that's the proof. So whether you like my style or you like the way I do it, I'm getting results, and that's what I'm getting paid for by the people of Brockton for, to give them results.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I think that you need to give a little credit for the results you're receiving to the staff and the administrators within the schools who are actually doing the work every day with the students.
I give them that credit every single day, Council. I walk around city and talk to the employees all day. They do a phenomenal job. I agree with you. But you need somebody to put the plan together, to implement it, to be able to create the discipline that gets the job done. And that's what I've done since I've been the mayor of the city of Brockton, not just in the schools, but in every single department that we have.